Hello, Bears fans. This is the Bears News Fan Report bringing you another hot analysis. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates about our team. Bears fans, have you ever imagined a Chicago Bears team with a dominant defense capable of terrorizing any quarterback in the league? After a season full of ups and downs, the Bears' defense remains a big question mark. Despite recording 40 sacks, the pressure on opposing quarterbacks still leaves much to be desired. But what if there were a player who could completely transform this defense? Could Myles Garrett be that name? With the 2025 season approaching, GM Ryan Poles has the resources to make a bold move. With 3 picks in the top 41 of the draft and a generous salary cap space, the possibility of a major reinforcement is not off the table. Garrett, one of the most dominant pass rushers in the league, already showed what he can do against Chicago by recording 4.5 sacks in just 37 snaps in 2021. But would this be the right decision? On the other hand, the main focus of the Bears' rebuild is the development of Caleb Williams. The young quarterback needs protection, and the offensive line remains one of the team's biggest weaknesses. Investing heavily in an elite defender could mean sacrificing crucial resources needed to build a competitive and balanced offense. The real question here is not just Myles Garrett to the Bears, but rather, what is the best path to making this team competitive in the long run? With high draft picks, the Bears have the opportunity to strengthen the defense without compromising the future. Perhaps finding a promising pass rusher and investing in the offensive line is the smarter strategy. And you, Bears fan, what's your opinion? Should the team go all in for Garrett, or would it be wiser to invest in the young talent available in the draft? Leave your comment. And if you want more analysis like this, you know what to do. Like the video, subscribe to Bears News Fan Report, and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything about Chicago Bears moves this offseason. Let's follow this journey together. Bears fans, we all know that defense is the soul of a competitive team. And when it comes to strengthening the pass rush, few names shine as brightly as Myles Garrett. But before we get too excited about this possibility, we need to analyze all the scenarios. Garrett would undoubtedly elevate Chicago's defense instantly. His presence would demand extra attention from opposing offensive lines, creating more opportunities for players like Montez Sweat to have an even greater impact. Additionally, a dominant pass rush would help the secondary by forcing rush throws and increasing the chances of turnovers. Sounds perfect, right? But every big move comes at a price. And in Garrett's case, it's not just about trading picks or players. His contract weighs heavily on the salary cap and could limit the Bears in other crucial areas, such as protecting Caleb Williams. A talented quarterback without a solid offensive line won't be able to reach his full potential, and that has been one of the team's biggest struggles in recent years. The good news is that Chicago has alternatives. With 3 picks in the top 41 of the draft, there's room to strengthen both the defense and the offensive line. Players like Jared Verse, Dallas Turner, or Latu could be viable options to boost the pass rush without having to give up valuable resources. Additionally, with salary cap space available, Poles could target strategic reinforcements in free agency, finding pieces that complement the roster without compromising the franchise's financial future. This approach would bring balance and allow for sustainable team growth. The real dilemma for the Bears isn't just choosing between Myles Garrett and a promising prospect, but rather deciding which path will lead the team to long-term success. Is it worth making a big move now, or is it better to stick to a structured plan that builds a solid foundation for the future? Now, we want to hear your opinion. Should the Bears go all in to bring in Garrett, or would it be smarter to invest in draft talent and free agency? Leave your comment below. And of course, if you enjoyed the analysis, don't forget to like and subscribe to Bears News Fan Report. Turn on notifications so you don't miss anything about the Bears' future. Together, we'll follow every step of this journey to success. As a Bears fan, I completely understand the excitement around the idea of bringing in Myles Garrett. He is, without a doubt, one of the most dominant pass rushers in the league and would instantly transform Chicago's defense. Imagining a front seven with Garrett and Montez Sweat will be terrifying for any opposing quarterback. At the same time, I feel a bit conflicted. The team is at a crucial stage in its rebuild and has promising pieces to develop, especially Caleb Williams. If the offensive line isn't reinforced, he could suffer the same fate as other young QBs who were thrown into the fire without protection. And we all know how that can set back a franchise. Additionally, the Bears have a very valuable draft ahead. With 3 picks in the top 41, there's an opportunity to build a strong roster without sacrificing future picks or committing to a massive contract like Garrett's. If this trade could be made without too high a cost, I'd love to see him on the team. But if the price is too steep, I'd rather see the franchise focus on protecting Caleb and building a balanced team. I think the final decision comes down to a simple question. Do we want to compete now or build a team that could dominate for years? I'm in favor of a solid and sustainable project, so as tempting as it is to bring in a star like Garrett, I would bet on the draft and strategic free agency reinforcements. In the end, I'd rather see the Bears become a long-term contender than risk everything on a single move. Another thing that makes me hesitate about trading for Myles Garrett is the long-term impact. It's not just about talent, it's about building a complete team. The defense already has promising pieces, and the Bears' biggest issue in recent seasons hasn't been the defense itself, but the inconsistency on offense. If Caleb Williams doesn't have time in the pocket to develop plays, a dominant defense won't matter much. Additionally, we have to consider the cost of this trade. Garrett wouldn't come cheap, meaning the team would have to give up valuable draft picks or even young players who still have room to grow. I'd rather have a balanced team than a dominant defense without a functional offense. If Chicago invests wisely in the draft and free agency, they can strengthen the pass rush without mortgaging the future. Now, don't get me wrong, I'd love to see Garrett in a Bears uniform. He's a monster in the pass rush, and with him, the defense would immediately reach another level. But we can't forget that this rebuild is designed for long-term success, and bringing in a player of his caliber now could mean sacrificing the chance to build a complete roster around Caleb Williams. That's why my fan heart says yes to Garrett, but my long-term vision makes me think twice. If the price is reasonable, it could be an incredible move. But if it's too high, I'd rather see the team focus on protecting its new QB and building a balanced roster. In the end, the Bears need to think big, not just for one season, but for the years to come. And you, what do you think? Would you make this trade or stick with the rebuild plan?